See, being a programmer, like, you have to maintain some characteristics inbuilt yourself here. Okay, because every time going to my video is not a suitable for you. Because you have to think about your third process. That is a very important for being a programmer. So how you can decide, like decide means you have to be, you have to do some exercises every day, like warm up exercises. Okay, so coding warm up exercises, like every day when you're waking up, please follow these coding exercises. And when you're going to be sleep, do these warm up exercises, because you're going to evaluate being a programmer, right? So doing exercise is very, very important for you. Okay, because straightforwardly, if you're getting into a project, if you're sitting into a project, admin is okay, fine, that's okay. But what exactly the programmer means, when you tag a project to you, being a programmer, okay, they will give an extended functionality for you. The complexity logics you have to be write it. Okay, but all the complexity logic will start from the fundamentals. Okay, so you have to get 100% of grip on the fundamentals. Okay, so how you can gain the fundamentals means by doing some warm-up exercises. That is very important and primary exercises for you. So let me tell you. So how can you do it? The first one. So you have to put a question yourself. I think everyone can hear me and you're watching my screen, right? This is for you only. Okay. So how to declare a variable? This is very, very important. How you declare a variable is very, very important, because what variable will do? Variable will hold data in your program. Okay. It will hold data in your program. How you declare that variable? Okay. So generally people will write like this: integer I equal to 0. Okay. If you remember, this 0 is a value and you assign that value to this I. Okay. This I is nothing but a variable, right? This I is nothing but a variable. Okay. And you are saying to the system, this is not a normal variable, it is an integer variable. Okay, because it is holding the numbers, so that's why you're saying it's an integer variable. That means, no matter what you're trying to be learned, okay, but being a programmer, everything is a variable declaration. Everything is a variable declaration only. So that's why you start from the basic. So what we can call this? Generally, people think that this is nothing but an integer. Okay, generally people think that this is nothing but an integer, but according to me, that is a data type. That is an data type. If I go in specific, I can say it is nothing but an integer data type. So that kind of clarity should be maintained, because there are different types of data types will be there. Let us say I want to store a person name in my program means, understand my requirement. I want to store a person name in my program means, I can write like this:
String.
person name. Let us say it is comes under as a string format. Every statement must ends with a semicolon. And see, there is a value where I stored in one of the variable, and saying to the system, this variable is not an integer, it is a string. This is a data type. In specific, it is a string. So that's what. Being a programmer, you have to be consolidate everything. Okay, you have to be consolidate everything. So let us say, the second thing is, see, people will ask you the question, boss, and you have to be very conscious when you are writing a program. Why should I declare a variable? Because it holds a value. It is holding a 40 value. It is holding a text value, right? A single value or multiple value. This integer, sorry, one second here. I'm just getting it. 1 second. Sorry, that's an important call. Yeah. Okay. That's whatever it may be. This data type, this variable is holding a single value. Sorry. This variable is holding a single value. That's it. This variable is holding a single value, single text value, single number value, right? You understanding? If you have any doubts, you can ask me now, because no more backups again. Now, right. So, my next immediate exercise question is, okay, how to insert a record from backend code. This is the second question. How to insert a record from the backend code. So here you have to apply 3 principles. Okay, 3 principles. The first principle is you have to request the object. You have to access the object temporarily in your program. Then only you are able to insert a record into the database. So you have to request the system to access a particular object in your program. That is your first principle. That is called object instantiation. Let us say, how to insert a record from a backend. Okay, backend code. This is a very simple question. How to insert a record. Okay, where you can insert a record? You can insert a record to an object. S object means Salesforce object. Either it's either it could be an custom object or the standard object, whatever it may be. Okay, so let us say now every day you go to this second question. You have to think how to insert a record to an S object. S object might be a contact. Now I want to insert a record from a contact from the backend code. Okay, so you have to apply the first principle. Okay, that principle is you have to request a system to access a contact object from your code. That is your first principle. Okay, so it could be like this: contact con equal to new contact. You brought a new contact object to reference to your program. You know, this is also a variable declaration, another flavor of variable declaration. Okay, are you getting the point? So these are very, very important. Writing a code, reading a code, you have to be, these are the 2 strengths for a programmer. Writing a code and reading a code. You have to read the code. This is a contact. The contact object is given by the Salesforce, and I'm getting the access of that into my program as a part of variable declaration. Here I hold the 40 value. Here I hold the text value. Here I'm holding the object value. Here I'm holding the object value in my program. How many objects I'm holding? Only a single object I'm holding. Only single object I'm holding. How many values you are holding? Single value, single object. Okay, so we can technically call it as an object instantiation. Technically, we can call it as an object instantiation. And what is the second principle? The second principle in inserting a record is what are the required fields are there, what are the necessary fields are there, you have to be populated. Let us say in contact, we know that last name is a required field, right? Last name is the required field. So I'll write like this: last name equal to some switch text. Okay, but what is this? This is a variable. This is a field. This is a field API. Where this field API is available? It is available in this object. So this object is nothing but a contact. So you have to write object dot. Got the point, right? So this is the object. Now, if you are trying to insert a record in an account, you have to write account A equal to new account A dot name, right? Similarly, for a contacts, you have to write last name. This is a required field. This is a second principle. What are the fields are there? So that's what. నువ్వు ఇది ఒకటే నేర్చుకున్నావా అంతే డమాల్. యు నాట్ ఎ ప్రోగ్రామర్. నువ్వు కాంటాక్ట్ లో ఒకటే రికార్డ్ ఇన్సర్ట్ చేయలేదు. వాట్ అబౌట్ ఆపర్చునిటీ? వాట్ అబౌట్ ట్రాన్సాక్షన్స్? వాట్ అబౌట్ స్ట్రాటజీస్? రైట్? What about other custom objects? What about your case object? Right? There are so many objects are there. Then how you can decide means how you will go to learn means centralization is very important for you. First principle is object instantiation. No matter whether it's a contact or account or whatever it may be. What is the specific thing you are doing? Go in that manner. Okay. Then that object will have some required fields. Populate all those required fields. So third principle is you have to commit data into the database. You have to supply the commit command. Insert obj, right? This is a DML operation. See, read the code. This is object instantiation. Okay, so this is object instantiation. This is a variable declaration, and you assigned a value to this last name to this object. This object is nothing but a contact. And what is this? This is a DML permission. Third principle, DML option. Okay, now the specific DML is insert, and you are supplying that object. So that means a contact will be inserted here. That is what the beauty here. A simple programmatic language. It's a general common English language. Okay. So how to retrieve a record from S object? Okay, from S object. How to retrieve a record from S object? Okay, remove this code. See, you know how to declare a variable. You know how to insert a data. Inserting a data means I will give you visualization. Go on mute, guys. If you have any doubts, you can ask me. I'm hearing a lot of noise from Rakesh. Go on mute. Thanks. You always concentrate. This is an object. Okay. This object will be available in database. Right? What you can do, you can consider this is nothing but a record. Okay. You can do 3 things on this record here. Initially, 3 things. One is insertion, update, delete. Majorly you can perform. Okay. Insert means inserting data to the database and supplying to an object, and record will be committed. To update a record, you have to bring the record to your program. Okay, I'll tell you. Right now we are concentrating on this one. Okay, so you're inserting data to the object. So that's why you need object access and you insert a record. Okay, now here, how to retrieve a record from the S object? Now the record is available in the object. Right now, this is a record. Either you could XYZ record or whatever it may be, or customer record, or contact record, or opportunity record, or a case record, whatever it may be. A record is a record which is available in the object in the database, right? Now you want to retrieve that record. So to retrieve that record, generally people will write SOQLs. What is that? SOQL. SOQL means Salesforce Object Query Language. SOQL means Salesforce Object Query Language. Salesforce Object Query Language. Query means question. Query means question. See, now I will ask question to the database. Mr. Database, select ID, comma name, comma phone, or else I'll go like this. Last name, comma phone, right? I'm asking question to the database. Mr. Database, please select ID, last name, and phone. Not from all objects, only specific object. From contact. Okay. Limit 1. Initially, I'm just giving as a limit 1. So that means what? It will give only one record, because retrieve a single record. Okay. You can apply some where condition also. Okay. Specific record also you can bring it. Okay. So what is this? This is a query. This is a query. This query will go to the database. Will go to the database and brings that record. It brings this record to your program. Okay. So if you are writing a query inside a program, it must be in square braces. It must be in square braces. If you are writing query inside a program, no matter whether you're writing an Apex or you're writing a trigger, whatever it may be, if you are writing a query, that must be in the square braces. And you assign that to one of the variable. See, this is one of the variable. As like var, integer var, as like string, person name, as like object. This is also a one of the variable. Ikademo, no 40 and a value each. You just given a 40 a value to this one. Here you given a text value to this variable. Here you just given object to this value. Here you're giving a record to this variable. Understand this. Here you give an integer value. Here you give a string value, text value. Here you give an object value. Here you're giving a record value. Okay, that kind of variation is required for you. Okay, so this is a variable and system doesn't understand that variable what exactly it is. Okay, what this variable is holding, it is holding the contact data. So obviously the data type must be in the contact. See, no matter, all are variable. This is a variable declaration. This is a variable declaration, variable declaration, variable declaration, variable declaration. Okay, so there are different flavors are there. That's what, if you know how to use a variable declaration, then 100% of code you can be using. Okay, so before writing a code, please read the code. Read this one. Select ID, last name, a phone from contact, not from all objects, only from contact, right? I don't want all records. I want only the single record, because here my question is I want only the single record. So that's why, no matter what kind of a record it could be. Okay, I'm not going in specific. Okay, so I just want only the normal, whatever the single record is available on the contact, I just want that one. So that's the reason I just applied a limit 1. Okay, limit 1. We know that only one record is coming, so that's why I just put it here. Any doubt still here? You can ask me, guys, because these are very crucial and very core things for you. Because, you know, in industry, no matter whether you write a 10 lines of code, 100 lines of code, or 15,000 lines of code. Okay. Everything is a variable declaration and queries. Variable declaration, queries, if conditions, loops, only these things. If you know, if you are very handy on that, you can write, thousands of lines of code very simply. You can understand the thousand lines of code. Okay, it's not at all a rocket science boss, because the Salesforce is already a high level programmatic language. It's already defined. Okay, you are simply accessing it. That's it. So there are some couple of fundamental principles are there. Please get some handy. Definitely you will become as a good, very good programmer. Okay. Now, so how to use, how to update a record? How to update a record? You know how to insert a record, right? And you know how to bring a record into your program. You know how to bring a record into your program, right? Now you want to update it. See, if you consider this is your program, okay? You know what is this? Consider this is your database. Yeah. Right? You know what is this? This is an object. Technically, object people will say it's a tabular format, right? Okay. See. Now, you will write a code. Insert command, right? Where you will write in your program. It goes to the database. It goes to the object. Then a record will be created. Okay, a record will be created with an ID. How much? 18-digit ID. Right? 18-digit ID. అంతే కదా, నువ్వు ప్రోగ్రామ్ రాసి ఇన్సర్ట్ అనే కమాండ్ కొట్టంగానే సేల్స్ ఫోర్స్ ఏం చేస్తుంది? నీ కోడ్ రీడ్ చేసేసుకొని అది డేటాబేస్ లో ఒక ఆబ్జెక్ట్ లో ఒక రికార్డ్ క్రియేట్ చేస్తుంది. ఇది మనకి క్లారిటీ ఉంది. ఎక్కడి నుంచి? ప్రోగ్రామ్ నుంచి వెళ్ళి. ఇప్పుడు రికార్డ్ ఎక్కడ ఉంది? డేటాబేస్ లో. నౌ I have a record in my database. Now, what is my concern is, I want to update a record. What? I want to update a record. This record. మరి నీ ప్రోగ్రామ్ లో ఆ రికార్డ్ ఉందా? లేదు. ఏం చేయాలి? రిక్వెస్ట్ చేయాలి. Request to the database, to the object, to the specific record. It will bring that specific record into your program. You have to make a request, and it will reply. Okay, it will give a response for your request. Are you getting the point? Because నా ప్రోగ్రామ్ నుంచి ఎక్కడో ఎస్ ఆబ్జెక్ట్ ని, అంటే డేటాబేస్ లో ఉన్న ఆబ్జెక్ట్ నేను అప్డేట్ చేయాలి అంటే ఫస్ట్ నువ్వు రిక్వెస్ట్ చేసుకోవాలి. ఏ ఆబ్జెక్ట్ లో ఏ రికార్డ్ ని నువ్వు అప్డేట్ చేయాలనుకుంటున్నావు దానికి చెప్పాలి నీ ప్రోగ్రామ్ నుంచి. సో యూ హ్యావ్ టు రైట్ ఎ రిక్వెస్ట్. దట్ రిక్వెస్ట్ గోస్ హియర్ అండ్ ఇట్ విల్ ఫెచ్ that record and it will send that record to your program. Then you do update command from your code, and again this command will go to this database, to this S object, to this record. That's what, very simple. How do you update? ఓకే, నువ్వు డిసైడ్ చేసుకోవాలి ఏ ఆబ్జెక్ట్ లో ఏ రికార్డ్ని అప్డేట్ చేయాలని ముందు నువ్వు డిసైడ్ చేసుకో. సో నీ ప్రోగ్రాంలో డేటా లేదు, నీ ప్రోగ్రాంలోకి డేటా తీసుకురావాలి అంటే ఖచ్చితంగా ఈ థర్డ్ స్టేట్మెంట్ అనేది ఇంపార్టెంట్. యూ హ్యావ్ టు రైట్ ఎ క్వరీ. ఐఎమ్ రిక్వెస్టింగ్ డేటాబేస్, దిస్ ఇస్ మై రిక్వెస్ట్. ఓకే, సెలెక్ట్ ఐడి, last name and phone from contact. So it will bring that record. ఈ రిక్వెస్ట్ ఏదైతే ఉందో అది ఎలా రిక్వెస్ట్ చేశాను, త్రూ SOQL ద్వారా రిక్వెస్ట్ చేశాను. I just requested through SOQL, రైట్? అదేం చేసింది, రిజల్ట్ ఇచ్చింది. ఇదిగో ఏదో కాంటాక్ట్ తీసుకొచ్చింది. ఓకే, I just changed the variable name. Any record section, ఒక రికార్డ్ అడిగారు. So it brings only the one record for me. Now this is a contact record which is available in database. Now it is available here. అదే కాంటాక్ట్ రికార్డ్ వచ్చింది ఇక్కడికి. ఓకే, ఏం చేస్తాను, ఏం అప్డేట్ చేయాలనుకుంటున్నావు, కాంటాక్ట్ డాట్ రైట్ లాస్ట్ నేమ్ అప్డేట్ చేస్తా. రైట్, అట్లనే ఫోన్ అప్డేట్ చేస్తా. ఓకే, తర్వాత దిస్ ద ఫస్ట్ ప్రిన్సిపల్, యూ హ్యావ్ టు క్వరీ. ఇక్కడేమో ఆబ్జెక్ట్ యాక్సెస్ తెచ్చుకున్నారు, ఇక్కడేమో రికార్డ్ యాక్సెస్ తెచ్చుకున్నారు. And what are the fields are available in this query, you can update except this ID. You cannot update the ID. Okay, and you supply the command update. That's it, very simple. మీకు ఈ డయాగ్రామ్ ఒకటే గుర్తుండాలి, నా ప్రోగ్రామింగ్ చేంజ్ చేయగలను అనేది మాత్రమే చెప్తున్నాను. ఓకే, నా ప్రోగ్రామ్ నుంచి డేటా ఇన్సర్ట్ చేయగలను ఆబ్జెక్ట్ లోకి, నా ప్రోగ్రామ్ నుంచి రికార్డ్ ని అప్డేట్ చేయగలను. రికార్డ్ ని అప్డేట్ చేయాలంటే ఫస్ట్ రికార్డ్ యాక్సెస్ కావాలి, రికార్డ్ ఇన్సర్ట్ చేయాలంటే ఫస్ట్ ఆబ్జెక్ట్ యాక్సెస్ కావాలి. దట్స్ వెరీ సింపుల్ స్టేట్మెంట్స్. ఓకే, ఇట్స్ నాట్ ఎ బిగ్ కాంప్లెక్సిటీ ఫర్ యూ, రైట్? అండ్ దిస్ ఈస్ ఎ కమాండ్ update, and you are updating the record. Similarly, how to delete a record from database? This is very very important. Now what you are trying to do, yes, okay, editing, yeah, you could short class work. Yeah, see, this is a record, right? I want to delete this record. Okay, I want to delete this record. To delete that record also, you need this ID. To delete a record, we need these IDs. So how you can do? But the ID ni program lo unda. Now I want to delete a record. Now I want to delete a record. So to delete a record, okay, again you have to request this database to this object, to this specific record, okay, to this specific record. What it will do, it will fetch and again it will give as a format of response. Again, request, response. Request will be in the format of SOQL only. Okay, SOQL. How you can do same query, but this time I will only request an ID because you don't require the last name, first name to delete any contact. Copy this variable. There is only a statement called delete supply here. That's it. Clear? This is the way how you declare a variables. This is the way how you instantiate an object. Variable declaration. Variable declaration. This is also variable declaration. And these are the commands. Okay, this is the way how you can delete your record. Now, how to insert associated records means parent child records. This is also very important and very crucial. So how to insert associated records? Do you know association, people? Association means, for example, if I open a contact, if I click on the new button, you know, this is association. I select any one of the account. See, I selected one of the account and I can able to create contact, right? Populating the parent field, populating a parent field and committing the data. See, associated contact record has been created. This contact has been associated to this account. So how you can deal such kind of a things through your program is, that is very simple. First principle is insert or retrieve parent object related record. Second, insert child object record and also populate parent reference. ID. These are the two things you have to be remember. So how to do? Let us first, as per this first statement, let me insert a parent record. Let us say we know that. We know that. This is account and this is contact. This is a parent and this is a child. First, insert a parent record. First, insert a parent record. Then insert a child contact. And associate it to this account. That's what you have to do. So how you can do? Insertion means, again, you have to follow this principle. Again, you have to follow this principle. If it is update means, if it is retrieving means, you have to follow this principle. Okay. Now, account, parent account record equal to new account. So you go with this parent account. So let me try to insert a first parent account. Parent account dot name equal to yes. Or I go with okay. So what I will do? Insert this parent account. Right? The first statement has been done. Now, contact con equal to new contact con dot last name equal to okay. I just given this last name. Generally, people will write insert contact. But here, one of the important interesting thing you have to do is con dot account ID. See, generally from the front end, you have account name. But if you observe this, but if you observe this API name, because in a coding part, we will only use API names, not labels. ఇది UI కాబట్టి మీకు లేబుల్ నేమ్స్ కనిపిస్తుంది కానీ బ్యాక్ అండ్ కోడ్ వచ్చేసరికి API నేమ్స్ యూస్ చేయాలి మీకు ఎలా తెలుస్తుంది API నేమ్ come here objects contact see account ID. There is no account name. Account name is nothing but an account ID. That it is a reference field. Reference field means it should be populated with record 18-digit ID. How I will get the record 18-digit ID? Copy this one, paste it here, dot ID. That's it. This is a reference field. Populate with record ID. This is very, very important here. Okay. Sometimes you have to insert a single parent and multiple contacts. Sometimes you have to insert multiple contacts to the existing account. How you can do? Let us see. So how you can do? Here you have to follow this one. You have to retrieve it. You have to retrieve it. How you can retrieve? Retrieve it through the query. Account A equal to new. Sorry, it's a query, right? Select ID from account where name equal to you can try to put anything. If this account is available, you will get the data. So it will have the ID, right? That one will be available here. Okay. So now, simple. You come here, copy this statement, paste it here. Now, you can copy this, you can supply here. The same thing, both are the same. ఇక్కడేమో న్యూ కాంటాక్ట్ క్రియేట్ చేసి అసోసియేట్ చేసాం. ఇక్కడేమో ఎగ్జిస్టింగ్ కాంటాక్ట్ ఆల్రెడీ ఉన్న అకౌంట్ ని తీసుకొచ్చి న్యూ కాంటాక్ట్స్ ని అసోసియేట్ చేస్తాం. Now, another principle what we have to be, I mean another warm-up exercise what we have to do it is how to apply conditions in the code. Conditions, we have only one condition here, if condition. If condition, it will be like this. Let's say for example, okay, if here it is true, this statement will execute, else this statement will execute. If the condition is true, this true statement will be executed, if statement will be executed. If this condition is false, then else statement will be executed. Let's say for example, integer I equal to 10. Okay, if very basic elementary level, if I greater than 5, I'm just printing it. Now tell me which statement will execute, if statement or else statement?
If statement.
Yes, sir. If statement.
If statement.
Right, very simple, easy. How you can say that? Very simple. This is a condition, right? If this condition is true, then it will execute. If this condition is false, then it will execute. That's called condition statements. No matter, right now I just deal with integer. Might be I can deal with string. Might be I can deal with boolean. Might be I can deal with date. Might be I can deal with s object, with account, contacts. Right? I can do so many things. How? How? The same simple statement only. I'll just copy this one, paste it here. Okay, see this. If this is not equal to null, then only insert. Writing of else is an optional. Okay, అది రాయొచ్చు రాయకపోవచ్చు else మీ ఇష్టం. Alignment is very very important. Alignment ఉండాలి, ఎట్లా పడితే అలా రాయకూడదు. ఓకే, నీట్ గా ఉండాలి. మీ బుక్ లో రాసుకున్న నీట్ గా రాసుకుంటారు అలైన్మెంట్ పెట్టి, కోడ్ కూడా అలానే ఉండాలి. ఓకే, చూడండి, ఈ అకౌంట్ ఉంటేనే కాంటాక్ట్ అనేది ఇన్సర్ట్ అవుతుంది, ఈ అకౌంట్ లో అయితే కాంటాక్ట్ ఇన్సర్ట్ అవుతుంది. రైట్, సో దీస్ కైండ్ ఆఫ్ ఇఫ్ కండిషన్స్ ఆల్సో యూ కెన్ అప్లై. దేర్ ఈస్ అనదర్ ఆల్సో. Okay, how to apply loops. The different types of loops are there. While loop, do while loop, for loop. I already covered those things in the back in already regular sessions. Please follow that. But in a backup, I would like to cover only the for loop, because in Apex, most of the things like 90% you're going to use a for condition, for loops only. Okay, so that's why I'm going to take care of for. See, very simple here. For, you know, loops is nothing but you have to iterate some certain things. ఒకే పనిని multiple times చేయాలి అనుకుంటే గనక you have to consider, you have to work on the loops actually. Okay, you have to work on the loops. So how you can work on the loops? Let us say, for example, Control E, anonymous window will come, delete it. Okay, write like this for. Okay, initialize integer. You know about initializations, variable declaration. This is a variable declaration. And the second thing is a condition. And second statement is a condition. It's a condition. If this condition is satisfied, then this statement will execute. Okay, then it will print I. And again, either you can do increment or decrement. Either you can do increment or decrement. Now here we are doing increment. What it will do? First step, initialization అవుతుంది. తర్వాత సెకండ్ స్టెప్ కండిషన్ చెక్ చేసుకుంటుంది. 0 is less than 10 ట్రూ కాబట్టి ఈ స్టేట్మెంట్ అనేది ప్రింట్ అవుతుంది. 0 అని ప్రింట్ అవుతుంది. తర్వాత 0 కాస్త 1 అవుతుంది. 1 మళ్ళీ చెక్ చేసుకుంటుంది. 1 less than 10. అలా కండిషన్ డిస్సాటిస్ఫై అయ్యేంత వరకు ఐటరేషన్ అనేది ఆగదనమాట. ఈ కండిషన్ అనేది డిస్సాటిస్ఫై అయ్యేంత వరకు ఈ కండిషన్ అనేది ఆగదు. సో మల్టిపుల్ టైమ్స్ ఐటరేట్ అవుతుంది. సో ఈ లాజిక్ ప్రకారం ఏం చెప్తున్నావు అంటే ఈ స్టేట్మెంట్ ని 10 టైమ్స్ ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ చేసి బయటకు వచ్చాయని చెప్పాం. అంతే. అది కూడా ఎక్కడ చెప్తున్నావు? నీ ప్రోగ్రామ్ లో చెప్తున్నావు. See, it iterates. Right. Right. Still, it is not yet done. Okay. So this is not yet done. We have very much work with this one. Wait for the time being. Okay. Now, 9th one, not yet done. Okay, because next all the questions will be related to the 9th one. 10, 11, 12, so whatever the things it is coming to my brain, okay, all are related to the 9th one only. Next all questions. Okay, so now let us see. Come back. What are the collections? We have only 3. One is list, another one is set, another one is map. Okay, I just explained you about only the list. Still pending with set map. We'll continue tomorrow. Okay, so in backup up till until list I can give you. So these are the collections what we are having. So how you declare a list? Generally, list of, if you are dealing with integers, you will give with the integer. If you are dealing with strings, you are giving as a format of a strings. See this. ఎక్కడో చూసినట్టుందా ఈ స్టేట్మెంట్? వేరియబుల్ డిక్లరేషన్. Give me a second. Give me a second here. One second. Okay, guys, I have an call at 11:30. That is an interview call. I have to make a candidate to be ready. So people are asking me. So what we can do, we will continue this session today only at 12 o'clock. Okay. So now it's a time is 11. Now it's time is 11. Again, we will meet at 12 o'clock. Okay. Yeah. I will explain how do we know when to use the static methods. No, you have to wait for that one. Not right now. Okay. If you want, I can tell you that one in personally. Okay. Because people still don't know about static methods and non-static method. If I explain you right away, other people will get confused. Okay. So that, okay, I can help you in personally. Right. Anyway, yeah. So what I'm trying to tell you is today, 12 o'clock or 12:15, we will meet, okay, and continue this backup session. Okay. Please be available. Thank you, guys. I'll post after this call. Okay. Thank you.